this interaction, we get to hear about your burning questions, everything that you've wanted to ask. And if maybe you just wanted to talk to Mama Chikamoneka, of course, catch us this Thursday live at 21 hours where Bmtv channel 114 on Topstar. Call in, text us so that you get to have the answers, the satisfaction. So on this program, we're going to give you that privilege so that you can ask yaja question mafuno funsa mufuno ochita find out kuti ivini bwanji. You're going to do that on our live interactions, and you will definitely catch us live on Facebook at 21 hours and also on YouTube at 21 hours. Keep the time, 21 hours on Thursday. Facebook at Bmtv channel 114 and on YouTube Bmtv Zambia.
Abakashana bashinonshi kutabeshi byokusunga bashitata twale basunga bulino wakale nishita wale pondokera besu nipamulando wakwa twale kota respect twale chindika abalume besu twale bepikire fyakulya fyalinga malaria panganda umwa omyala fiwa shani ukuya bedroom pyanga ni 70 ashama box and 70.
See you on Thursday at 21 hours. Bye.
A lovely evening, and thank you so much for joining us. This is Bmtv News at 18 hours. We're live on Topstar, Bmtv Zambia channel 114, on Facebook, Bmtv Zambia channel 114, and on YouTube, Bmtv Zambia channel 114, and www.bmtvzambia.com. We look at stories making headlines. Health Minister pays courtesy visits to Northwestern Provincial Administration. School health services set for improvement. Zambia pushes for greater gender equality in sport sector. Russia to ban petrol exports to prevent shortages. 10 African nations qualify for expanded 2026 World Cup. To present the news in detail, my name is Ruth Musakabantu. The Minister of Health has paid a courtesy visit to the Northwestern Provincial Administration as part of efforts to strengthen collaboration between the central government and provincial leadership. During the visit, the minister emphasized the importance of coordinated health service delivery and reaffirmed government's commitment to improving healthcare systems in the province. The engagement also focused on assessing the status of health facilities, addressing challenges faced by medical personnel, and enhancing service delivery in rural areas. Provincial officials welcomed the visit, noting that it reflects government's dedication to engaging local leadership in addressing health sector needs. They highlighted key concerns, including staffing levels, infrastructure development, and access to essential medical supplies.
By the directive that the President has given us to visit the school feeding program and see how it is being rolled out, and also coupled with that, looking at the school health or learner or health learners, which the government has taken keen interest in the health of our learners. So basically, it is just two agenda here in Solwezi before I get into Mshindamo. So health learners, that is a number one item that we are looking at. To be going to Mushtala Primary School, where I want to see how the health learner component is being rolled out, because that has actually made a big difference in the way we look after our learners in schools. And that goes with the school feeding program. And that has actually enhanced attendance and performance.
Government has reaffirmed its commitment to improving service delivery at community level through the integration of health services in schools under the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Nicholas Piri, says the move is being implemented in line with the school health program aimed at improving the health and learning outcomes of learners. Mr. Piri says government has partnered with Healthy Learners through a memorandum of understanding signed in February this year to scale up the program across the country. He explains that as classroom infrastructure is being developed under CDF, health rooms will also be incorporated to provide first aid and essential medical services within schools.
The ministry sought to actualize the program that His Excellency commissioned with the health learners by way of contextualizing it and mainstreaming it into the ministerial delivery mechanism through CDF. And so early this year, the Ministry of Local Government and the health learners went into a memorandum of understanding on how we can actualize and own this program as government. And so as we speak today, we are coming here to sensitize the district officials, the implementing agencies who are yourselves, the local authority, and the other agencies you work with, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, that as we are programming for the CDF in terms of school infrastructure, alongside that, we must also plan for health rooms. Health rooms will come in handy to complement and supplement what we are already doing as government. Currently, each school infrastructure we are putting up is coming with a set of desks, is coming with a set of reticulated water systems, and in addition to that, we want this infrastructure to come with a set of a health room that will make it easier for our learners to acquire first aid medical support and services within the school premises using the people they trust most, who are in daily contact with them, their teachers. And so this MOU paves way for us to pull our resources together as government on one hand and the non-state actors on the other hand, who are our cooperating partners, to ensure that we deliver these much-needed services to our communities.
Meanwhile, traditional leaders in Chipata and Kansenengwa, including Chief Madzimawe and Chief Nzamani, have welcomed the initiative and pledged support towards implementation.
We are happy. I was delighted when I heard about your coming and the program to do with learning and health. I'm sure it's been a long way when we started years back talking about decentralization, then decentralization being implemented. It has a lot of components. This is just one of them, and I think many people, when the offices of the heads, the district health directors were being told that now we fall under the council, many were like surprised, but we knew that that was decentralization at play, and ourselves being members of the councils, we were very excited.
Government has reaffirmed its commitment to promoting gender equality and inclusion in sport. A speech delivered on behalf of Vice President Mutale Nalumango by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts, Chileshe Kangwa, says there's an urgent need to increase participation of women and girls in sporting activities. Speaking during the official opening of the National Women in Sports conference held at Mulungushi International Conference Center, Mr. Kangwa noted that despite progress made, women and girls continue to face barriers such as cultural norms, limited resources, and safety concerns. The speech highlighted that Zambia's efforts are aligned with international frameworks led by the United Nations and the African Union aimed at reducing gender disparities. It further stated that government has put in place policies such as the 2024 National Sport Policy to promote inclusion and equal opportunities in sport. Government has since called for stronger implementation of policies, improved coordination among stakeholders, and practical action to ensure no woman or girl is left behind in sport. The United Party for National Development, UPND, has continued to record an influx of members from opposition political parties, reinforcing its growing support base across the country. The ruling party has confirmed to the nation the defection of Clement Tembo, who has officially resigned from the Patriotic Front, PF, to join the UPND. Mr. Tembo was formally received into the party by UPND Lusaka province leadership led by Obvious Mwaliteta alongside other party officials. Speaking during the reception, Mr. Mwaliteta welcomed the defector and described the move as a clear indication of growing confidence in the leadership and policies of the UPND.
Not today. So I want to tell him, where you've come, you should feel at home. In our UPND, let me tell you, we need to receive as many people as we can. And these people we are receiving today, they are very active politically. Don't bring them in the bank and pack them. Utilize them. There's no harm even you to have, you can have your that committee, you can even have more than 100, 200 people. Because Kabata is big. These places are big. We can have as many people, even 500. We give ourselves portions. We are not going to restrict. We want, when we receive the people, let's utilize them, let's work with them. Let them feel that they are part and parcel of UPND. Because our target we have, the 80% 2020 in August. This target is a huge target of 80% vote. It's a big, huge target. So these, they've come, others they've remained. We need to work with them so that even those who have remained should come, so that 80% anti-Kambayo, we should manage it sen. Yes. We cannot allow a president like HH, a hard-working president, among the 20 best presidents in the world, go for Iran. Can we agree to that? Can we subject our hard-working president to that? No. Can we subject our hard-working president when the president 65%? Then we don't appreciate as Zambians. Then we don't appreciate as Zambians. Zambians need to appreciate HH for what he has done. If you are irritated when we talk about free education, and if we tell you that this free education has come with its own feeding program, if it is a nyamula munkoyo ku school, then we give it 65%. Here, we need to give him a lot of percentage so that we encourage him. He's just a human. He needs to be encouraged to say, what you are doing, Your Excellency, it's a good job. And I understand why you've come, because you have seen so many good things happening, right? But also, your party has been hijacked. There's a PF. Who is Makebi Zulu coming from to become a so-called president? So, PF, your own, the vice president of your party, the first vice president of your party, Guy Scott, came to UPND. Some of us, the ministers, who are very close, such that even 23 hours, 22 hours, we are drinking with ECL, the late may he so rest in peace. We are here. What are you waiting for? In Lusaka province, we have received you and we'll work with you so that you can feel sweet as we are going for inauguration in 2016. But in August, for independence. Because if you are not going to be part of it,
and Mr. Tembo expressed his readiness to work with the UPND, stating that his decision to defect was motivated by the party's development agenda and governance approach. The development adds to a growing list of opposition members crossing over to the UPND, a trend the party says reflects its continued appeal and national support ahead of future political engagements.
Almost everyone is agreeing with the principles, is agreeing with the policies of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia. I want to give you a brief background. Chairman, it is very important that you understand where I'm coming from. I'm more like a prodigal son today. I know some of you are surprised how. In 2005, I was associated with Media Trust Fund and the Community Voice. Then President Hakainde Hichilema was our chairman. So I'm one of the very youthful people. I think I was in my early 20s when I joined His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. Then he was in his 40s, early 40s as well. One day in an elevator he told me, "You see how youthful you are? Do you believe that it's possible to become a president in this nation?" Well, then I doubted a little bit, but I told him, yes, it's possible. And then we started the journey. We are some of the victims that were attacked on the Copper Belt then during the brutal MMD regime that time. I was relatively young. Came 2006, we campaigned heavily with His Excellency, President Hakainde Hichilema. Came 2008, I separated because I went in the corporate world. I was in the corporate world for a long time. Then I went into active politics, very active politics again in 2013 and 2014. And this is where our Chairman Malitete is referring to when that special phone call came from His Excellency, the late President. May his soul rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. I didn't know, only my big brother Malitete knows exactly in what environment they were, but I got that call. He's right. And I was told, well, we have seen the many works that you are doing in Kabata constituency. Yes. That was 2013, 2014. Yes. And I've done a number of works in Kabata constituency. I don't have time now to explain the works. But for the people I've brought here, they will understand very well where we are coming from in Kabata constituency. Yes. They used to say, the young man that keeps Kabata constituency clean. I got, you know, the tracks.
A University of Zambia UNZA student died after reportedly falling into a sewer or septic system within Onia campus premises. The student, who is believed to have been in his final year of study, was initially reported missing before his body was later discovered in a drainage facility near the School of Engineering. Preliminary information suggests that incident was accidental, with the victim suspected to have been drowned after falling into the wastewater system. The tragic development sparked protests among UNZA students who took to the streets to express anger over poor infrastructure and unsafe sanitation systems. The demonstrations led to disruptions along the Great East Road near Arcades area. Students have since called on authorities to urgently address safety. I'll read that again. Students have since called on authorities to urgently address safety concerns and improve campus infrastructure to prevent similar incidents.
Peaceful protest is number one. Yeah, number one is I think it's a well-known thing that our sanitation has really been bad at the University of Zambia. Yeah, so I think it was brought to light, of which relevant authorities were engaged, but nothing was being done. Okay, so not until before yesterday when we saw the ZNS people, including the ZNS commander, was on campus trying to second day from the School of
engineering like died in the sewer. So instead of the VC coming to like address us, the VC didn't show up. So hence we thought that, not we thought, we acted to go to the Great East, because we knew that if we go there, they'll address it and they'll fix the sanitation which is on campus. Because honestly, we have been suffering a lot. Like as students, if it's using the toilets, we usually go by the Great East, like the mall, which is like East Park. So which means us again, we are being inconvenienced, because we pay for sanitation on campus, but they are not fixing anything, because these situations that's here, and they had the entire holiday for like 3 months. They did nothing. The same way
We take our first commercial break. We return with international news.
Hello everybody. This week, for the very first time at 21 hours, catch me, Maggie, live with Mama Chikamoneka for a live interaction. In this interaction, we get to hear about your burning questions, everything that you've wanted to ask. And if maybe you just wanted to talk to Mama Chikamoneka, of course, catch us this Thursday live at 21 hours, where Bmtv, channel 114 on Topstar. Call in, text us, so that you get to have the answers, the satisfaction. Questions. So, on this program, we're going to give you that privilege so that you can ask ya jama question ya mafuno funsa mufuno ochita find out kuti ivini bwanji. You're going to do that on our live interactions, and you will definitely catch us live on Facebook at 21 hours and also on YouTube at 21 hours. Keep the time, 21 hours on Thursday. Facebook at Bmtv channel 114 and on YouTube Bmtv Zambia.
Abakashana bashinonshi kutabeshi byokusunga bashitata twale basunga bwino wakale nishita wale pondokera besu ni pamulando wakwa twale kota respect twale chindika abalume besu twale bepikire fyakulya fyalinga baleria panganda umwa omyala fiwa shani ukuya bedroom upyanga ni 70 box and 70.
See you on Thursday at 21 hours. Bye.
The Russian government is imposing a complete ban on petrol exports. That is, the decision is meant to prevent Russian petrol producers from selling abroad, while Moscow continues to export crude oil and other oil products, including diesel, despite the international sanctions. We monitor Al Jazeera for more details.
The increase in fuel prices due to the war in Iran has made foreign markets even more attractive for Russian petroleum producers. But to prevent a deficit on the domestic market prior to high seasonal demand and to stabilize fuel prices, the Russian government is imposing a total ban on all exports of gasoline from April the 1st. The restriction applies to all market participants, including large petroleum producers.
The ban, though, does not apply to petrol supplies under international agreements. Crude oil and diesel fuel exports are not banned either, even though these have been seriously affected by recent Ukrainian drone attacks on Russia's refineries and ports. Just last week, Ukraine struck the ports of Primorsk and Ust-Luga on the Baltic Sea, as well as the country's second largest refinery in the Leningrad region. The attacks partly limited Russia's ability to export oil and oil products. There is a fear now that the level of oil processing and exporting in Russia may decrease in the near future because of the damage caused.
This is not the first time the authorities have imposed a temporary ban on gasoline exports. The previous petrol export restrictions for small refineries were introduced in September last year against the backdrop of record growth in fuel prices and scheduled shutdowns of refineries due to continued Ukrainian drone attacks and the risk of seasonal product shortage in some regions. It was lifted at the end of January in order to avoid a surplus on the domestic market.
As petrol producers have to sell at lower prices inside the country, where prices are significantly lower than internationally, the government compensates them using its so-called fuel damper. But the measure is not helping to reduce the growing discontent among petroleum producers here, who say their expenses are growing by the day. Drivers on the streets of Moscow are also complaining.
I have been a taxi driver for a year, and in that short time, gas prices have gone up about 8% per litre.
Gasoline cannot get cheaper here, so everything else will get more expensive too.
Analysts predict that the gasoline exports ban can slow down domestic price growth, but it will not lead to a serious reduction in prices. And the external market situation will continue to have a negative impact on the Russian petrol market, even without the gasoline exports. Yulia.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the UK will not be a part in the war on Iran. It comes as a Daily Telegraph newspaper reports that Donald Trump told it he's considering pulling out of NATO. In an address to the nation, Starmer said the UK is pushing for diplomacy to end the conflict in the Middle East. We monitor Al Jazeera for more.
On Iran. It comes as the Daily Telegraph newspaper reports that Donald Trump told it he's considering pulling the US out of NATO. In an address to the nation, Starmer said the UK is pushing for diplomacy to end the conflict in the Middle East.
This is not our war. We will not be drawn into the conflict. That is not in our national interest. And the most effective way we can support the cost of living in Britain is to push for de-escalation in the Middle East and a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, which is such a vital route for energy. To that end, we're exploring each and every diplomatic avenue that is available to us.
Let's bring in Rory Challens in London for us. Rory, so the Prime Minister talking about the impact of the war on with Iran there. Any change at all in the messaging?
Not really. This was a message from Keir Starmer that mixed both the international and the...
We take our final break. When we come back, we have sports news.
On Simply Frank tonight at 21 hours, we go mining. My guest, Minister of Mines and Mineral Development, Paul Kabuswe. All about the mining sector. Join me and my guest, Paul Kabuswe. 21 hours only on Bmtv, channel 114 Topstar. Good night. Is Paul Kabuswe presiding over the biggest national revenue going to stand in Chilabombo?
Definitely. I'm seeking a fresh mandate, and I think what we've done in Chilabombo gives me a lot of confidence.
Welcome back. Africa will make history at the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a record of 10 nations securing direct qualification for the extended global tournament, which is a major milestone for the continent's football growth. The unprecedented representation comes as the tournament expands its format, allowing more teams from around the world to compete on the football's biggest stage. Among those qualified are continental heavyweights Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, and Algeria, alongside strong contenders such as Senegal, Ivory Coast, and Ghana. Africa News has more details.
Africa will make history at the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a record 10 nations securing direct qualification for the expanded global tournament, a major milestone for the continent's football growth. The unprecedented representation comes as the tournament expands its format, allowing more teams from around the world to compete on football's biggest stage. Among those qualified are continental heavyweights Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt and Algeria, alongside strong contenders such as Senegal, Ivory Coast and Ghana. Emerging teams have also secured their places, including Cape Verde, South Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo, the latter completing the historic lineup after a decisive win to claim Africa's 10th slot. The qualification qualification of the DRC is particularly significant, marking a return to the World Cup stage after more than 50 years and highlighting the growing competitiveness of African football. The expanded tournament offers African teams a greater opportunity to showcase their talent globally, building on recent successes such as Morocco's historic run to the semi-finals in 2020.
Chanka Zimba says his senior debut for Zambia national football team was a proud milestone despite the heavy defeat to Argentina national football team. Zimba featured in the international friendly played in Buenos Aires last night, where Chipolopolo suffered a 5-0 loss. The young striker admitted the scoreline was disappointing but described the experience of playing against world-class opposition as a huge step in his career.
Today, but I'll take a lot of learning out of the game.
Okay. The atmosphere was noisy. Do you think that affected you or the team?
Not me personally. I don't think the team either. We're focused on football at the end of the day, so we were excited to play. It was a good atmosphere. The fans were great, but we're overall just unhappy with the result.
Is the 5-0 a true reflection of what happened on the pitch?
I don't think so. I think we had a chance to score. We could have made a bit of a different game, but they have very good quality in their team. Very good quality in the team, and they showed today. So yeah, just go on to the next one now.
Okay. What are the lessons learned?
Just try to be more compact. It's difficult when they have a lot of the ball, but we try to work hard, and sometimes they make good passes. So.
Meanwhile, Chipolopolo acting head coach George Luandamina acknowledged the gulf in quality following the defeat. Luandamina noted that Argentina's strength exposed areas Zambia must improve, but emphasized that the match provided valuable lessons for the team moving forward.
Tactical team. Okay. One big thing we have carried from this speech, just one.
We have to be very organized, play compact, and try to push forward away from our box so that we can force even the other team to make mistakes and they go and capitalize on the same.
Do you think our players were scared of the big names?
It can be yes or no. Yes, we are slightly timid, playing with the big names and the chanting of people. But we are trying to come out of the shell and try to string some passes. We were even.
Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin. We look at stories that made headlines. Health Minister pays courtesy visit to Northwestern Provincial Administration. School health services set for improvement. Zambia pushes for greater gender equality in sports sector. Russia to ban petrol exports to prevent shortages. 10 African nations qualify for expanded 2026 World Cup. Well, this has been Ruth Msakabantu. A huge thank you to our production team. Aldrich Kampamba on camera 1, Jackson Tembo on camera 2, Douglas Banda on transmission, and our news editor, Temwani Nkata. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.
Hello everybody. This week, for the very first time at 21 hours, catch me, Maggie, live with Mama Chikamoneka for a live interaction. In this interaction, we get to hear about your burning questions, everything that you've wanted to ask.